All right. Cheers, Facebook. I am Amy Mitchell with Houses of Windsor, and you're watching Virtual Tea Time with Amy, and special guest today is Dr. Fitzherbert Harry. You can
Yep.
call him Dr. Harry or Fitz.
Yep.
So, Dr. Harry, thank you for being here with me today.
Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate, being able to come and share some tea with you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, speaking of, so what are you drinking today?
So I am drinking green tea kombucha.
Whoa. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
talk about that.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to it when we get to your special interest. But
Sounds good.
so I am drinking Buckingham Palace Garden Party,
Oh,
one of
okay.
my teas with a super fun long name.
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's I say it's like an Earl Grey with, I don't know, extra. There's just like, it's like an extra Earl Grey. There's
Okay,
more to
okay.
it, and it tastes really good. Um, I've been drinking this one, I discovered it back in college, and I've been, drinking it
Oh, I
ever
gotta
since.
try that. I gotta go on your site and buy some.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so I am in Altamont Springs, Florida. And where are you calling from, Dr. Harry?
So I'm calling from Maitland, Florida.
Mm,
I'm in
very
Maitland,
nice.
Florida.
I
Mm-hmm.
know I know of Maitland because of RDV. That was the first way that I knew of Maitland, was because the Iceplex is over there, or the
Okay.
ice rink. I know
Oh,
that RDV is a big sports like
it
complex,
is.
and it's got like everything, but for me it was ice skating.
That's
I didn't
nice.
care about the rest of it. But so okay, so why don't you share with us, Dr. Harry, what it is that you are a doctor of? What do you do?
Okay, good, sure. Yeah, so I'm a doctor in physical therapy. I got my physical therapy degree from Virginia, and I started the company. Should I go into how I started the company and everything?
Yeah,
Okay,
please. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So got my degree in Virginia. I'm from St. Thomas, from the Virgin Islands. I went back to St. Thomas, practiced there for a little bit, and then when I moved to Florida, I noticed that there was a gap. There was some people who couldn't leave their houses to get to physical therapy. But also, there were some people who just didn't want to leave their houses or their business. They were too busy to
Right.
drive to a clinic. So when I saw that missing gap, that's when I decided to start my business, which is higher physical therapy and
Mm-hmm.
wellness.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's smart. Yeah. I didn't think
Yes,
about that. Some people just don't want to leave.
yeah. I mean, some people they also they're too busy, or they just can't find the time to go through. As you know, in Orlando, we have I-4 and all the traffic, so they don't want to
Right.
go through all of that
Right.
for the last hour or so. Yeah, so I have a few clients who I see because of that. They just want the convenience of being seen in their home or at their
Mm-hmm.
business.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
That makes sense. And you said, when did you, sorry, I was trying to open up the Facebook thing, to
Oh,
check
no
out on our
problem.
comments, but
Hmm.
what is it? Like, when did you start? How long ago was this that you started in
So
Florida?
I moved to Florida in 2016,
Oh, okay.
and I moved to Miami first. So from St.
Mm,
Thomas to Miami, and then from Miami, I stayed there for a year. I
yeah.
worked in a hospital. I moved to Port St. Lucie.
Oh,
So
okay.
I went from like really, life like to like life, very slow to Port St. Lucie. We stayed there for a year, and then we finally moved to Orlando about a year and I would say a year and a half ago. We moved to
Okay.
Orlando, and we said that we were going to stay here. So I started the business. I would say in 2017 is when I established the business to Florida, but I
Mm-hmm.
really started full time in February of 2019. That's when I
Oh,
really
okay.
started the
Right.
business
Right.
in
Okay.
Orlando.
Very, very cool. And
Hmm.
so, how do you like? What do you think of Orlando compared to the other places you've lived?
Well, the great thing is with Orlando is that, as I said, Miami was really crazy. It's like 3 in the morning in Miami, you're having like parties, horns are blowing. In Port St. Lucie at 10 a.m., it looks like the Walking Dead. It's a ghost town. There's nothing around. So Orlando is like a nice in between. It's
Mm-hmm.
not too crazy, but it's not too I won't say boring, but not too not too calm. It's just
Right.
the right mixture, you know.
Right,
So
right.
I like it. You know, I've met some great people here so far, and made some great connections, and
Hmm.
you know, and people are friendlier here than they are in Miami. In Miami, everybody is like
Yeah,
going to
they're
their
all too
directions.
busy.
They're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
busy. Yep. So yeah, so far so good.
Okay, very
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so far so good.
I've been in Orlando, well, the Orlando area for about 6 years now, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, I love it. And I was gonna say, I feel like it's everyone's friendly, but there's also so many like transplants, from like Midwest and New York and whatever. Not that New Yorkers are known for being friendly.
Oh, and where did you come from?
I'm from Indiana,
Okay, good,
so
good,
I get
good.
to claim the Midwest.
Hmm. Very good, excellent.
Yeah, yeah. But I have plenty of friends that have moved here from like New York, New
Okay,
Jersey areas. Yeah. And
almost
they're all nice.
like a melting pot, so to speak. You know.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah, it's
is.
pretty
Yeah.
nice.
It's always kind of fun when you happen to run into like the one person that grew up, like was born in Orlando and they still live here. It's like, what? people
Exactly.
people are born here?
You know, it's funny that even as I moved here, I never thought I'd meet so many people from my island, from St. Thomas.
Oh
I've met,
yeah.
you know, like Oren in our group, Oren Stephen, he's from St. Thomas.
Is
And
he? Oh, I
then,
didn't know that.
he's from St. Thomas. So I learned that. And then, you know, I'll go to different networking events and they would say, you know, they hear my accent, which
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I have one, but apparently I do. So they'll hear my accent and say, oh, where are you from? Jamaica? I'm like, no, St. Thomas. Oh, my friend is from St. John or St. Thomas.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, really? Wow. You know, so it's,
Yeah, you weren't expecting
I never
everyone else
expected.
to be here.
Exactly. So it's
Yeah,
pretty amazing, you know.
that's really neat. So, oh, I like sometimes I've this was a question that I asked every time, and then I've forgotten the last few times.
Okay.
But I like to ask, especially with the current situation, even though we're in like phase one of kind of like coming out of our houses. I like to know who is in your house with you, like people, pets. Who do you have?
Oh, just me and my wife. I'm known as a pet apparently to her. So
Okay.
just me and my wife. I met her. This is a great story to tell you. I met
Yeah.
her in 2004,
Mm-hmm.
and we went on our first date in 2014.
Really?
So it took me 10
So,
years to get up my first date with my wife.
oh my
Yes, my
gosh.
current wife.
So
And
what were you just like in a group of friends or what for the 10
well,
years?
so how it started was in 2004 we had gym class together, right? So we're in gym class. I said, "Oh, you know, she looks attractive. I want her number." So you know, me being the guy I am, I'm like, "How can I get her number without seeming like a creep?"
Right.
So I said, "Hey, I knew you're in my math class. Can I get your number so you can help me with math homework?" Right? So she
Yeah.
said, "Sure." So she gave me her number, and the rule was I couldn't call on week weekends. Just call on the weekday. We can do the homework or whatnot. So we would talk, you know, about the homework. And by the way, I was a math teacher, so clearly I didn't need help in math.
Oh my gosh.
I just wanted her number.
That's
So
hilarious. And
so
she didn't know?
well, this is before. So this is
Oh, I
before
see.
I
I
became a
see.
teacher.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Before the
So
teacher. Oh, okay. I
yeah.
thought maybe
So
you were like a tutor or something.
oh no
Okay.
no. So
Okay.
this is an undergrad. Oh, I didn't mention that. So this is in
Yeah.
undergrad.
Okay.
So you know we talked and then I remember I broke the rule, getting kind of confident. So I broke the rule. Her father answered the phone, and that was the end of our phone conversations. But we stayed in contact because we were in this, you know, we were in school together. So we stayed in
Yeah.
contact. After I graduated from the university with my biology degree,
Mhm.
she went on to Boston because she
Mhm.
went to school in Boston, and I became a teacher. So I became a math teacher, and I taught for 3 years, math
Right.
and science. I taught middle school, I taught high school, and I taught college as well, like on
Oh wow.
college
Yeah. Yeah.
skills, math skills.
Mhm.
But we stayed in contact all through that time. So finally, you know, we kept in contact. I went to physical therapy school. We stayed in contact, and then one day we were talking like on Zoom,
Mhm.
and I'll never forget. I told her I was going to the movies.
Yeah.
And she's like, with who? I said, it doesn't matter who I'm going to the movies with. You know, we're not dating. She's like, yes, it does matter. And that's how the whole thing started. And now it's been 4 years and we're still married.
That's adorable. I love it.
So that's the story of how of me and my wife.
That's hilarious. So did she think that she was played a hand in you being able to become a math teacher? Like, did she think her tutoring helped?
We never talked about that. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I'm gonna ask her that when she comes home. I never thought about that.
Yeah. If she took credit for it, like he could only be a math teacher because I tutored him.
No. Yeah, we never thought about that. And it's funny, she never knew the entire story that I told you
Oh
until
yeah.
2 years ago.
Really?
'Cause I never told, I thought I told her, but I never told her. So
Right.
we were at dinner with a few friends, and the story came out, and she's like, "Really? That's what happened?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "What?" So it was kind of funny.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, yep.
And you said, when did you guys get married then?
2016. So
2016. Oh, okay.
June 18th, 2016.
Oh, okay.
That's another funny story, if I can
Yeah,
mention that.
please. Yeah.
So
Tell me stories.
and so her birthday is June 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So when I planned the wedding, I'm a planner. So when I planned the
Yeah.
wedding, I told myself that if I put her birthday close to the wedding date, when the anniversary and when the
Yeah.
anniversary and birthday comes up, I can buy one gift, like
Oh my
happy
God.
birth anniversary
Yeah,
gift.
yeah. Right.
It didn't work out. So
No.
I buy one
No.
for June 15th. It backfired. So I buy one for June 15th and one for June 18th now.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, now you're just buying. Yeah, you're not spacing out your gifts throughout the year.
I
You
thought I
have
thought it
to.
would work. I never knew this stuff.
That's great. And when you're planning this, she's like, sure, whatever, put it close to my birthday.
Like
Like
yes,
she knew.
I know in her mind she's like yeah, and I'm like oh okay good
Yeah,
perfect.
June's gonna be a great month for the rest of my life.
And then my father's birthday is June 18th as well.
Oh really? Oh nice.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things in
A
June.
lot of things happening then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's funny.
So
So
yeah.
what does your wife do?
Well, she's a medical examiner,
Oh,
so her patients are literally dying to see her. So she
that's great.
does she does autopsies, and she works for they service Orange and Seminole County. No, Orange and Osceola County. So that's where
Oh,
they
okay.
service.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow. That's my only experience with medical examiners is watching Law and Order, like
Oh,
SVU.
and she
Is
and she
when the
and she likes that
when
show.
yeah, like when the Emmy comes on for a couple scenes.
And it's funny, she didn't want to do that. At first she wanted to be a surgeon. And of
Hmm.
course in school you have to go through all the rotations.
Right.
So
Yep.
she's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go through this forensic rotation. But then when
Hmm.
she did it, she likes the mystery of it, like trying to solve a
Yeah.
mystery.
Yeah. Hmm.
And yeah, that kind of like got her right into it.
Right. Oh,
So
that's really cool.
mhm.
That's exciting. So she come home with some cool stories for you.
Well, she used to, but I think
She's used to
now,
it.
yeah, now she's kind of used to it. So only when we have like the really crazy stories, like
Yeah.
if you think the actual show is crazy, I mean it is crazier in real life.
Yeah.
I never knew that, like the stories are so like wow, the plot is it's
The
so
plot is
insane.
thick.
The plot is it's thick.
Yeah.
It's very thick sometimes. So maybe one day I'll tell you the stories, but there's some thick plots. It's like
Yeah.
wow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sounds like that should be B&I happy hour stories.
Oh, it'll be some good stories. Trust me. It's like wow, people are really interesting.
Yeah. And then because of what she does, people end up like not getting away with it most of the time, right? Because
Yeah,
she
yeah.
figures out
But she
what they,
figures yeah, she figures out what's the cause. But then for her as well, it makes her appreciate life more because it shows how fragile life is. So if you
right.
meet her, she's always laughing. She's always bubbly.
Hmm.
She's that kind of personality. She's never stressed because she's like, you know what, life is so like I see it. Life is so short
Right,
that
right.
we have to enjoy it when we're here. So
Right.
I guess that's one of the perks for her of being where she is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
My first thought was life is short. Someone could poison you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just enjoy
Well,
yourself.
I got stories for you.
I'm sure that's a tame tame assumption.
Yes. So that's what she does, and then for me for physical therapy, I got into physical therapy from basketball. So
Really?
I was playing basketball, went to block a shot, injured my thumb,
Hmm.
and it was really swollen, really big. For months I didn't know what to do with it, and then my friend who was a physical therapist says, "Let me see it." So he worked on it. It was all better. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I can move my thumbs now,"
Oh
and that
wow.
also got me into physical therapy pretty much.
Oh wow. That's really cool. So when
Mhm.
did you say this was like undergrad, or when was it that you
Oh, injured my
had
thumb.
this?
Yeah, it was in
Yeah,
my second year of undergrad when I injured my
undergrad.
thumb. Yeah, it was second
Okay.
year of undergrad. I injured my thumb.
So what were you planning on doing before
Before
you
before
discovered
that,
that?
That's a good question. I was a major in biology because I knew I liked biology. So
Mm-hmm.
two things that I really like is space and biology. So space and
Oh,
life.
okay. Okay.
So I was thinking of going to like marine biology possibly,
Yeah.
or even becoming like a doctor or something. A doctor is something else.
Right.
But I wasn't really serious about what I wanted to do until I found physical therapy, and I just
Right.
love. I mean, I love it. It's great. I love it.
That's really cool. So can you give me an example of like what are some of like your typical patients, or what's like the most common thing that either
Okay.
people see you for, or what are things that people should be seeing you for that they're ignoring?
Okay, so yeah, so the most common patients that I have, clients I have right now are seniors. So anyone who's a senior and they are falling, or they have they're weak, they're using a cane,
Mm-hmm.
they have Parkinson's disease or a stroke, those conditions. A lot of my patients are those clients who need the strengthening just to become more independent. So, for example, one of my clients that I'm seeing right now, his goal was to walk on the beach with his wife. They used to
Oh.
walk on the beach when they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the goals that we worked on and got him back. Another client, he wanted to get up to his second floor in his house because he did his business there, but it's been
Mm-hmm.
years since he's been able to do that. So, working on those kind of goals. So it's more than just the physical therapy, it's trying to change their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then another great referral for me is any clients who are too busy. So I have a few clients right now who are way too busy to get to the clinic. One is a CEO of a company,
Mm-hmm.
and she is just so busy with work she can't, and she needs therapy for back pain, or she needed therapy for
Mm-hmm.
back pain, but she was so busy she couldn't get to the clinic. So I came to her office during lunchtime, and I would
Mm-hmm.
set up during lunchtime, and
Right.
I would treat her. And the great thing is that her surgeon told her she needed surgery, but
Oh.
after I worked with her, she was pain free, like literally no more
Wow.
pain. And up to this point, I talked to her. This was last year. I talked to her as early as last week for her husband because he needed some therapy,
Mm-hmm.
and she's still doing fine with no pain and doing well.
That's amazing because back surgery is one of the things that like what isn't it like 50-50 if it
It
even does any
is.
good like
Yeah, to me, out of all the surgeries, that's the scariest surgery, back surgery.
right.
So yeah, passion of mine is to try to help people avoid, like, back surgeries, or hip surgeries, knee
Mm-hmm.
surgeries. The hips and the knees and the ankles, they're not as bad, but the back is 50-50 because it can
Right.
it can go well, but
Right.
sometimes it can go wrong as well.
Right. Right. I've
Yeah.
heard of hip and knee surgeries. I haven't heard of ankle surgeries.
Yep. So there's ankle replacement surgery, there's hip, knee, shoulder, and all those things I work on as well. So
Yeah.
all those orthopedic surgeries I can work on as well. Whether
Mm-hmm.
it's pre-surgery or if somebody had surgery and they need to rehab from the surgery,
Mm-hmm.
I can do that as well.
So I'm curious for some of these older people, do you know like do any of these problems stem from like were they like big athletes when they were younger or like super athletic or anything? I'm always curious like which sports
Oh,
damage people the
yeah,
most.
it's interesting. So I found that people who play football, like football, they have a lot of knee, or basketball too. They have a lot of
Mm,
knee injuries, but it's so variable because it
yeah,
all depends on who you are too and what you do.
right.
So some people, I know that they don't do anything for their entire lives, and from not being strong enough, they're
Oh, right.
deconditioned. And I will say the people who were athletes or worked out all their life, the ones who I see who told me that they're in so much, even though they're in more pain sometimes,
Yeah.
or they're in so much better shape than the other ones who are not
Oh,
into
okay.
working out or exercising. I mean, it's like night and day when you see them.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the ones who don't work out, they're very sluggish. They can't move very well. While
Right.
the ones who do, they're more independent. They may not have a cane. They may be walking on their own still in their
Mm-hmm.
80s.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it's good to stay fit. Whatever
Right,
you do,
right.
just to stay physically fit.
Right. That
Hmm.
makes sense, but you're ruining my theory that sports are bad. I
Oh,
never liked playing sports.
you never did?
No.
Oh,
I, I had
figure,
that was a leading question. I
well, you,
was
you
like,
you skate. That's kind of a sport, isn't it?
well, that's true. Yeah, I never
But not
did anything like
competitive.
competitive.
Got
Yeah,
it.
and
Got
that's
it.
true. Skating, if I didn't get to start that until I was like in college, like just a for
Mm.
fun thing.
Hmm.
And I did it up until just a couple, basically when my daughter was born, I stopped
Hmm.
having time to go. So,
Hmm.
um, but Yeah, I mean, and skating, I mean, that, yeah, that tears your, joints and stuff up, but it also keeps you really fit. I mean, so it's, yeah, but I just knew, like, I had friends that in college that, like, they played soccer in
Hmm.
high school, and by the time they were in college, like, their knees were just, like, shot. So, I guess it just depends on the person,
Yeah,
but
and I think also it's a fine line because with anything or with anything overuse can cause issues. So
okay.
I think that's why you see a lot of athletes have more injuries because they're so competitive that they push their bodies through injuries and different
Right,
things, and they do more harm than good.
right. And
And I
it's like the
think
same motions over and over.
over and over again, and you're not resting because
Hmm.
after you play, you're training.
Right.
So I think that's probably and then a lot of athletes they don't take care of their bodies, so they don't do the physical therapy or the
Hmm.
massage therapy or the different things they can do to recover from
Right.
the sport or practice. And I
Hmm.
think that's what causes a lot of the injuries.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I'll accept that. I'll accept that sports are good in general.
They could be good.
They can be.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. I always liked playing stuff for fun. Like I'd play tennis for fun as long as like basically I'll play something as long as there are no rules. And we're just like doing, so I'll play tennis, no rules.
I like tennis.
I'll play soccer, no rules. You
Too,
just,
too much too much running for me.
yeah. Yeah, well, soccer in like a small setting. I don't play on like
Mhm.
the giant soccer field.
Okay, yeah. I would play basketball. I just started tennis about a year ago, and I really enjoyed. It's a
Yeah,
lot of fun. I had no idea. It's really fun.
I do really like it. Yeah, I haven't played in a few years, but I did end up really liking
Yeah.
tennis.
I'm not good. I'm not good, but
Oh
I,
no,
I
I'm not.
can I can hit the ball over the net
I think
half
hit
the
it over.
time. Yeah,
Right, right.
exactly.
Yeah, now I want to go play tennis
There you go.
another time. All right, all right. I'll join the sports bandwagon.
Yes.
You got me. But so speaking of activities and stuff, I want to know. So I know we discussed a little bit beforehand, and not
Hmm.
everybody has an obsession personality type like myself.
Hmm.
So, what are your special interests or hobbies that you do?
Well, I have a few. So I like to cook,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that stems from my mom. So when I was 12 years old, my mom passed away suddenly.
Oh
Like,
no.
yeah, she was young. She was in her 40s. She was 47, and Friday she mentioned something. She was working out healthy.
Yeah.
She mentioned to us on Friday like something just told her that if she ever passed away one day, she would want to be buried in a Wesleyan church.
Oh
Like
my gosh.
random. Like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
just driving. So we're like, okay,
All
whatever.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
then on Saturday, she didn't feel well. She said, I really don't feel well. Then on Sunday, she went to a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
She never goes to the doctor. And the doctor says, well, you have low iron, it's just take these pills. And then Monday morning, she said, I really got to go to the hospital. And on the drive to the hospital, she passed away. So it was like,
Oh.
it was crazy. It was
Oh my
sudden.
gosh.
So
Yeah.
so we couldn't do anything. We couldn't iron clothes. We couldn't wash clothes. Like we would take these clothes, for example,
Yeah, yeah.
and throw them in the washing machine and then throw bleach in because we knew she threw bleach in sometimes in some of
Oh
the clothes. But we
no. Oh
were
my
we were
gosh.
in bad shape.
Oh
So
my gosh.
then
How many siblings did you have?
it was me and my brother. So me, my
Mm-hmm.
brother, and my father. So
Okay.
three
Oh, you
guys who
guys
never
didn't
do
know.
any. We didn't know any better. So I remember when I came home one day, my father cooked dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember eating dinner and I started to cry because it was so terrible. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to starve to death,
Oh my
So, and it was terrible back then, but looking back now, that's how I kind of got into cooking because
god.
I was
Yeah.
like, we got to figure something out.
Right, right.
I won't live like this. I'll be dead soon if this goes on. So yeah, we all three of us, by trial and error, learn how to cook, how
Yeah.
to clean, because even like sweeping the floor was like a task and a half. We had no idea
Oh
which way
my
to
gosh.
sweep,
I
where to
love it.
go. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
it was bad. Oh,
Someone had this on camera. You
or
guys,
mopping. I would mop everywhere, and then I'm in the middle, and the entire ground is wet.
you'd mop yourself into
It was bad. So, but we have a few friends, who will come over every now and then and help. But as time goes on, that kind
Mhm.
of kind of dies off a little bit. But we kind
Right.
of learn by trial and error how to like cook and clean and do all those things.
Right. Oh my
So yes,
goodness.
I think that's when my cooking started, and I enjoy cooking.
Right, right.
And
So
then,
can I
mhm.
ask, what did they figure out what happened? Like what it was with your mom?
Yeah, we think it was a embolism, like a blood clot.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I guess it was misdiagnosed. That's what we think.
Mhm.
We think it was misdiagnosed by a doctor as being like low iron, and yeah, we think that's what it really was,
Okay,
and
because
it went to her lungs.
what happens with an embolism, or like if they
So
would have caught it, what does one do with that?
with the embolism, what embolism is in your arteries. So in our bodies, we have arteries and veins, and the
Mhm.
blood flows through there through those channels, to
Right.
supply us with life.
Right.
So what happens sometimes is clots can form in those arteries and
Mhm.
block them. So think of having a hose that's throwing water, and then there's
Right.
like a stick inside there.
Yeah.
So when those form, they form in your legs normally.
Mhm.
They can form in your legs where they're not deadly, but the scary part is when they break apart.
Mm.
Because if they're forming in your legs, if you can think about it, our blood is flowing like water through the arteries, so you can
Right.
break the clot, and they travel through your body, and through our body, those arteries get smaller and smaller. So
Mhm.
when the clot gets to a small area, it can get stuck there, and once
Oh.
it gets stuck there, blood can't get to that area. And the most common places that it gets stuck, which is very bad, is your heart, your lungs, or your brain, because
Oh
that's where the
wow.
small vessels are. So
Mhm.
it gets stuck, so then blood can't get to those areas. So then that area starts to, die off, or
Mhm.
and then of course when that happens, then your body's in crisis mode, and
Right.
then that can kill you. So what they do is it'll give you medications to try
Mhm.
to break the clots up. To try
Oh,
to
okay.
try to break it up. Yeah, they give you medications, or what they can do sometimes is put a stent in, and the
Mhm.
stent goes in, and they can reopen the
Okay.
place that's blocked. So if you hear
Okay.
if you hear somebody who's um well, it's different, but somebody who has like plaque buildup, it's a
Mhm.
different thing.
Yeah.
But plaque buildup can cause the same thing too, because if plaque breaks off, it can cause clots. Cause
Okay. The embolism
blockage
or
as well
blockage. Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, but mainly is when blood pools in an area, it
Mhm.
can it can form clots. And
Mhm.
that's why they tell you on airplanes, if you're sitting for a long period of time, to get up and walk around, because when you sit for a long time, your
Mhm.
blood can pool inside the area, and that's when the blood is just stuck there. Think of it
Right.
as having a mixture of salt and water, and you mix it up
Mhm.
really nice, but then you let it rest. Stuff start to
Right. Drops
come
down.
down. Exactly. So it's very, very similar. So we think
Okay.
that's what happened to her. But then also some people, they're just prone to having clots. So
Mm.
it can just happen sometimes
Right.
with
Right.
no warning. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I'm sorry that happened, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
but I guess it's been a while.
it's
I
been
still
a
miss her, but it's still an interesting story when I think about it.
right.
Where me and my father and my brother have come from to where we
Right.
are
It was
now.
like I like your I like your kind of look look back on it, where it turns into the three guys trying to survive
Mhm.
and it just
Like, what's
being
this? This
like
is
chaos.
bleach. What do I do? Drink it? Do I put it in
I
the?
know.
Let's put it inside here. Let's see what happens.
Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
that's
So
too
so
good.
that's one. So that's how cooking
So
became.
that's cooking. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cooking.
So now that you're older, so like, and you've been cooking for a while, what are there special dishes or like a special cuisine that's your
Um,
favorite to
I like
dabble in?
Yeah, I like island food, like curry. So like I like curry chicken.
Mm.
We have something called like Johnny cakes and different meals like that we cook, which is like fried dough. I like making like rice, macaroni and cheese, barbecue, fish, like anything that's new. I want to try. I like.
Okay.
I guess my obsession is learning new things.
Hmm.
I love to learn new things. If you give me something new to learn, like a
Yeah.
new tea for anything, I want to
Yeah.
learn. I want to just go all in and learn about it. So that's
So
how I
then,
am.
so maybe that's your obsession.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just
so.
learning whatever the new thing is.
hmm And then two other things I like to do is I like gardening. So one of
Oh,
my prize positions is, if you can see this, I brought it here for you guys.
oh my gosh.
So that's me, or an
That
image
right,
of
right.
me.
The image of you. Yeah,
And this is
that's
the
awesome.
sunflower we grew. I wish I could show you the actual picture, but I'm not sure if
I've
I
I've
can.
seen the actual picture. I can
Yeah.
tell
So
people, if I know it's posted on like Black Cow, like
yes,
Facebook, Instagram, the Black Cow, yeah,
yes.
fertilizer.
So I
So
use
you
some,
use that and that,
and I
yeah.
use when I was in Port St. Lucie, I did a lot of gardening, so
Hmm.
vegetable gardening and herb gardening and sunflowers. And yeah, this one just came to like 14 feet.
Jeez,
It
that's
just shot up.
nuts.
It's crazy, isn't
That's
it?
crazy. How long did it last? Like, because I guess
It
they have
lasted
to be
for
pretty sturdy, right? If they can
yeah, it lasted for a
stand up
few
that tall.
months. It lasted for a few
Wow.
months. And what I did too, you can see it in the picture as well.
Hmm.
There's some cinder blocks here.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's trying.
So this is a pretty cool story. I have so many
Yeah,
stories.
tell me.
This is a pretty cool story. This actually came from a girl in Austria. So I posted a picture on Facebook,
Yeah,
and she drew this and took a picture of it, right?
yeah.
I mean, and sent it to me. Like she said, "Oh my gosh, I saw this picture from you on Facebook. I just want to show it to you." I said, "Oh my gosh, I want that picture."
Yeah, yeah.
So she said, "Okay, if you send me some seeds, I will mail you the picture." She literally mailed me the picture, so I mailed her some seeds.
That's
So it went
amazing.
all around the world. It's kind of cool.
Oh my gosh, that's really cool. So
Yeah.
then what's the sign? Like people wrote messages on
Yeah,
the end of
so
it?
this was actually I used to work at St. Lucie Medical Center.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked for the picture, and what they did was they actually like when I left there to move to Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
they just like wrote all around it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I can
That's
pull out the
awesome.
picture still, but I just
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
frame that they did for it. So I really thought it
Yeah,
was really neat,
that's really cool.
really nice. Yeah,
She turned you into a work of art.
yeah,
That's really
man. Yep,
cool.
I actually did. I was impressed. I said, you know what, I want it, so I
Yeah.
got it.
Oh my gosh. Is she just some random person in Austria?
Yeah, honestly, it was just random. I posted on a gardening group, like a worldwide gardening group,
Mm-hmm.
and she saw it there, and she showed me the picture, and I said, yeah, send it to me. I want it,
Yeah.
and if I want something, I'm gonna try to get it. So I really tried to just. I told her anything she needed to do. She said, just send me some seeds. So I said, fine, I'll do it.
That's pretty cheap payment.
It is, it
Just being
is.
painted seeds.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
And then
Did it.
uh-huh.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it lasted maybe about a few months. It lasted for a few months,
Mm-hmm.
and then what happens is it turns from the yellow sunflower.
Yeah.
It gets dried up, and then all these like it's like hundreds of seeds
Oh, wow.
that are there. So actually, inside that door behind there, I
Mm-hmm.
have some of the seeds still.
Really?
So I want to try to replant them. Or
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, you can
if
plant
anybody
them.
who I know wants seeds, I'm looking at you guys now. Let me know, and I'll send you some seeds as well, so you can plant your
That's
own sunflowers.
I don't. All I have is the little potted plant from Jeff Singletary. Is that gonna hold a
Oh,
sunflower?
yeah, I don't
It'll
think
break
so.
out of the pot.
In no time, trust me,
Yeah.
they grow so fast. And the cool thing is too with sunflowers is the head of the sunflower turns with the sun, which is pretty cool.
Oh, it really does.
It really
Yeah.
does. It really does. I didn't know that, but it really
Oh,
does.
weird.
So in the
That's
morning it'll
really
be
cool.
facing one way, and then when I come back home, it's like it's
Oh,
turned the
that's
other
so
way.
bizarre. I didn't
It's
realize
so
that.
crazy. It's really cool.
My mom has sunflowers. She's gonna be mad that I don't know this because they like.
At least at least this version did. This is called the
Yeah.
mammoth sunflower. This version did
The
that.
mammoth. Okay, that's really
Yeah.
cool.
And then the last thing I like to do is I like to make kombucha.
Yes, I want to know more about kombucha because I've only
Okay.
heard some, and I'm not sold on it yet.
Yeah,
So
so what kombucha is pretty much is fermented tea. So
okay,
it's a great alternative to soda
okay,
because when I make it, for example, I use something called a SCOBY, which
hmm,
is it's a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, and
okay,
you use that. It trust me, it's very interesting when you see it. And you add green tea and you add sugar, and that's
hmm,
it. And you let it ferment for like a few weeks or 2 weeks or so,
yeah.
and then you can harvest it and drink it.
Oh, weird. And so it's bubbly. Like, is that why you
It's
replaced
yeah,
it with soda?
it's very bubbly,
Yeah,
yeah, because the bacteria and yeast that's
yeah.
inside there, they form carbon dioxide and they form the fermentation, the
Okay.
bubbles. So and it tastes when you make it at home, it can actually taste like soda because you can make it
Really?
as sweet or as
Oh, yeah.
sour as you want. So one of the things I wanted to do with my business, honestly, was start holding like online classes on how to make kombucha and
Yeah.
have a kombucha group. That kind of got put on the sidelines for now, but that's definitely something I want to get into because it's healthier than drinking soda with all these different chemicals and different
Right. Right.
additives and sugar and empty calories.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
so
I'm
yeah.
one of those.
Yeah, so we gotta get you on the if
I know.
I'll try to get you some because it's if you get the right kind, it's really good. It's like
Hmm.
wow, this is some really good stuff. And it's healthy. It has
Right.
probiotics, so it's really good for you as well.
Right. I think I've definitely only tried it once, and it was from a random place. So I'm from Muncie, Indiana, and um, I won't name the place that was selling it because honestly I don't even remember, but it was it was like I'll call it like a hipster type hangout place.
Hmm.
And they they were selling some kind of kombucha stuff, and my sister-in-law, shout out to Candace, was like told me I should try it, and so I got it, and it's like I don't this doesn't taste good at all. I didn't
Yeah,
like it.
the first time I got it too, the first
Hmm.
time I got it, I did not like it. I really
Okay.
didn't. And then I tried different brands. I found one that I kind of liked.
Hmm.
When I started making my own, it was like a game changer. I was like, oh my
Okay, so
gosh,
it's
this is
way
the
better if you just make
it's way
it
better to make it
yourself.
yourself. Yep. And like Priscilla said, I'm watching the live. Priscilla said that
Oh, great.
her 16-year-old loves kombucha. So
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
good to know. Hi Priscilla and hi Jeff as
Oh,
well.
good. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you for seeing that because I couldn't even
Yeah.
see that. Yeah, without it like playing at the same time.
Yes,
But
kombucha is really something that I like I like a whole lot, and I really want to get back into doing it. Hopefully next year I'll probably get back into doing more like stuff with it, and maybe one day when we get together again, like all of us can get together in BNI, I can bring
yeah,
you guys some samples so you can try it.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would try your kombucha.
I think you would
I
like it
didn't like,
because
yeah.
in Port St. Lucie I was making some, and I remember people did it were skeptical, and I had them try some, and they would always ask for
Right.
more. Like, can you bring me some more next time?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so.
So I guess is it similar to like how basically like beer ends up becoming bubbly, like it's bubbly like that, and like sort
Yeah,
of how that's an acquired taste, like you're not gonna
well,
like it the first time or no?
no, I think it depends on the because there are some kombucha that I would drink that I won't that I don't like from some companies. I won't name the companies, but there's some of them I would drink and I just can't stand how
Okay.
it tastes because what happens is when you mix the sugar and the tea with
Mhm.
the SCOBY,
Yeah.
the SCOBY feeds on the sugar. So
Mhm.
it feeds on the sugar. So the longer you leave it in there, the more it feeds on the sugar, the more bitter it becomes. So
Oh.
some people like it like really like some people like it like
Oh,
beer, like
okay.
really bitter. I don't like beer.
Mhm.
So
I
I
don't
don't like
either.
it super bitter. So I get it to a certain sweetness where I like it. And then the great thing is you can flavor it. So you can put in like
Okay.
blueberries, you can put in mango, you can put in pineapples, you can put in strawberries
Right.
after it's done, and you can have like a nice flavored kombucha.
Okay. That's really cool. So
Hmm.
does it end up like I mean I know you put the sugar in it to like, have that reaction. So does it end up having like that much sugar basically in it or does it turn into something else?
So the sugar is I guess the sugar is burnt off from the because I guess the bacteria and yeast they feed on it, and
Yeah.
as they feed, they create carbon dioxide. So I guess the sugar turns into the
Okay, the
fermentation.
bubbles. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a lot of sugar. So you put like a cup of sugar for a gallon of tea. So
Mhm.
it seems very sweet, but the more the bacteria feeds in it, the less
Right.
and less sweet it becomes until it comes to a nice flavor that you personally like, and then you can
Right.
harvest it
Oh,
and
that's
then
really cool.
remake it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, see, look at you, Dr.
Yeah.
Harry, changed my mind on everything today.
Yes, sports kombucha. We're gonna get you
That's
doing all
right.
those things.
That's awesome.
Oh, yes, we're gonna do all those things. It'd be awesome, awesome. Yep.
Well, I guess since you can see the comments, do we have anyone to tend
Um,
to?
let's see. Nope, just Priscilla. Yes, just Priscilla. Thanks for watching, and Justin Military as well. Jeff said that we are his favorite people. I think we got to pay him afterwards for saying that. Thank you, Jeff. But I really do appreciate that. I really do
Thank you,
appreciate
Jeff.
that. Yes, yes.
That's awesome. And hi, Priscilla.
So yeah,
um,
those are my my interests. Those things that I really find myself having fun doing.
yeah. Well, those are good. Those are still like, you may not have an obsession with England, but that's still, it does keep you busy and
But
entertained.
I've never been to England. I need to go to England one day. My uncle has
Yeah.
been there a few times, so he has a little bit of an English accent to. Even he's
Oh,
from the
cool.
island. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been there
yeah.
for a while, but I've never been to England. So I love traveling.
You do?
So
Okay.
I
So
love traveling.
where have you traveled that's like your I don't know. Well, I was gonna ask you your favorite and your least favorite, but I don't know if you want to say your least favorite.
Oh, and I don't mind. I don't
You don't
mind.
mind? Okay, so your
I think my
yes.
favorite place. Well, I like cruises.
Yeah?
Which
Okay.
is something that I guess that's not really popular right now, but I like
That's
cruising.
okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been to I think every place I've been to so far, which has been like Mexico, the Caribbean areas I've been to, I really like the area like the cities I've been
Mhm.
to. Really like Los Angeles. Went there for the first time last year.
Mhm.
That was a whole lot of fun. I think the least favorite place I've been to so far is an island, probably shouldn't call his name Barbados. I'll still call the name. That was probably the least favorite place I've been to, only because actually no, the least favorite place I've been to was my last trip to Mexico, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
The reason why was because they were trying to haggle you so much like to buy things. I
Oh,
think that made the experience kind of poor for me
right.
because I remember this guy followed us around for like almost an hour.
Oh, geez,
Like
just like won't leave you alone.
he had like a rock he was trying to sell, like a kind of like a special rock he was trying to sell. The price went from $150 to $20. I'm like, so and then everywhere we went, everybody's trying to sell you hats. So I couldn't enjoy the actual experience,
Right,
unfortunately.
right.
That one time though, other times I've been to Mexico, I really love it. It
You really
was
love
it was,
it.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So I do like Mexico. I do like Mexico. I just didn't like that one experience.
that's awesome. I've only been to Mexico once. My brother got married there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was on like a resort in Cancun, and
Mm.
that was really nice. So we were busy basically the whole week there, so it's not like we really left the resort. But my like favorite time, it was like a big resort where there's like different buildings, and so
Which resort was
they
it? Do you know?
had, oh shoot, I just remember like Moon Palace and like I don't
Okay.
remember. That might have just been one of the building names.
Okay. No.
But yeah, but I just know like we to travel between the buildings, we had the special wristbands that got us like the drivers with the golf carts.
Yes. Yes.
So like my favorite time was riding on the golf court or golf carts and like trying to use my Spanish with the driver because my mom was a Spanish teacher in middle
Oh,
school.
really?
Yeah, and she speaks it fluently, and I always enjoyed it like for fun in classes. Almost was a Spanish major in college, and then dropped it
Wow.
for fashion.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's-
but so
Yeah.
I just Spanish is just fun to me. I don't. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Also, Priscilla has been to the Moon Palace. That's really cool.
Oh, okay, great.
I've been to Sandos. So I've been to Sandos, Cancun, and Sandos Playa Car. I've been to those resorts.
How are sandals nice places? Like, are those pretty cool?
Yeah, so Sandos is all inclusive as well. So
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty nice. Um, everything was there. Like you said, the a special wristband, so you can not only go to your resort, but you could have gone to other resorts that they owned within
Oh,
Mexico.
okay.
You could have
Yeah,
traveled
yeah.
between resorts, and they had like buffets, all you can eat. They had shows, so you didn't have to leave the actual resort. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to,
That's
but
really cool.
it was really fun. Really
Yeah.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you mentioned the cruise, and I've never been on one, but yeah. But did you have you heard? I am having a special high tea themed group cruise next February, so
Oh, okay.
it's not too early to talk about cruises
No, that's
because
awesome.
yeah, it's called Amy's High Tea at Sea. One of
Okay.
the members of the British Chamber is a cruise planner agent, and so
Mm-hmm.
we're yeah collaborating and putting something together. So
Okay.
yeah, so you can
Oh,
come. You can come to a high tea.
tell
Yeah,
me. I love cruising. I
yeah,
love cruises, so that'll be awesome.
yeah. It's a 4 night cruise, and it goes to Coco Cay, which is, do you know what that is? It's like, I
Mm-mm.
guess how every cruise or most cruises have their own private island. So
Yes, yes.
that's what theirs is called. And half of it's like crazy water park, half of it's like cool, chill beach area.
Okay, okay,
And so you go to Coco Cay for a day, and then you get back on the ship and you go to Nassau, and we'll have like a special walking tour for our group, and
okay.
then we'll go back to Coco Cay. But yeah, while we're on the cruise, we'll have like a high tea at sea while we're there, and then we'll have like a British trivia night in their British pub.
So do I need
Just
like a
like
tall hat and like a mustache and
yes, I'll
a
tell you yes.
cane?
If you're
And
willing, I'm gonna
I
say yes.
got my tea.
Pip pip cheerio.
Yes, cheers.
I love it. Honestly.
I would love to go on. I would love. I love cruises. I've been on so many. I've been on a lot of cruises.
Yeah.
Because when my mom was alive, we used to go on cruises from 1990 until she passed away, and
Really?
then so once a year we used to go on. That was
Wow.
so we were very frugal, not cheap. We were frugal, so we
Yeah.
wouldn't spend any money, but we would spend our money once a year on a vacation on a cruise, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
we would do.
Oh, that's
And
so cool.
she passed away, and then we stopped for a little bit, and then we started doing the yearly tradition again. So we've been
Right,
on
right.
quite a few cruises.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
that's really cool that you got to do that. So
Yes.
do you usually have to take like what, Dramamine or something so that you don't get seasick,
No,
or
no,
you're
you
pretty
know,
good?
it's interesting. I've never gotten seasick on a cruise. I've gotten seasick on smaller
Oh,
vessels,
yes.
because they're so big that they don't rock as much.
That's, yeah, yeah.
But some of them do. When there's a storm, you can really feel it rocking. But for the
Hmm.
most part, they don't rock as much. So I've never
Okay.
gotten seasick on a cruise.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely felt, I've never actually like gotten sick, but I've felt very queasy on, usually I think it's the ferry, like from oh, like over to Ireland and stuff. There's, yeah,
Mm.
that's, those are rough.
Yeah, because
Rough seas.
they're bouncing up and
Yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I've tried everything. Whenever on those things, I've tried closing my eyes. I've tried looking at the
Oh
horizon.
yeah.
I've tried sleeping. Nothing works for me.
No, uh-uh.
Nothing
Yeah, but
works.
that's great. But when you're
Yeah.
on a cruise ship, you've got your sea legs, so you're good.
Well, it's interesting. After you leave a cruise, like we go on a 7-day cruise.
Hmm.
After you leave the 7-day cruise, when you come on land, sometimes you still feel like
Oh,
you're on the boat. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
sometimes I'm just standing there and I can feel my body like
Oh my
moving.
gosh, that's great. Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
cool. Yeah. Then it wears
So
off after a while, like after a week or so. But
right, right.
it's
But so
really cool.
you don't notice it so much when you're on the ship. It's once you come off the ship.
Yeah. 'Cause I guess your body's so
You
used to
notice
the
the
rocking, like you're like,
difference.
huh, that's
You just
interesting.
move it around.
Yeah. Yep.
That's really cool. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for being on.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Do you have any final words?
Final words, I would say just enjoy life and follow your dreams. That's
Nice.
one thing I did. Follow your dreams and follow your passions.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people are afraid of going after their passions because they feel, well, I can't make a living from this, or
Hmm.
I can't, make money, or. But I think if you do what you love, it's going to come to you eventually.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
I always tell people just to follow your dreams. Never think have that mindset of thinking that, well, I can't do anything with this. If you love
Yes.
what you do, you won't work, and you won't work a day in your life, as they say. But at the
Right.
same time, it's gonna be some benefit towards the end of it.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I second that because I feel like so much, it's almost, I'll say we in general, but I feel like we're often taught that, if you follow your dreams or whatever, that's being unrealistic. Like,
Hmm.
and it's like, or like you could make it happen and manifest it,
You know,
the other way of thinking.
I saw in New York. There's two things I saw. There's a walker. So
Hmm.
what the person does is you pay them to walk with you, walk down
Yeah.
the park, walk and talk. Yeah, and that's what she does. She does is you schedule with her. She comes to your house and
Oh my
you
God.
walk down the neighborhood or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then go back home. And she gets paid to do that. And then I saw that there's professional cuddlers. Never knew about that.
I've, I've seen that. I feel like I saw that in like Law and Order.
Yeah, but it's actually a real thing.
But it
I
is
was reading
real.
an article where there's actually like people who would, just come and just like,
Yeah, they
hug
just
you,
need,
or,
yeah, yeah, they just
caress
need,
you and
yeah,
so
a
forth.
human
Yeah,
touch. Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, people do, there's like it's endless of the things you can do,
that's
possibilities of what
true.
you can find and do, because there's always a need. If you love something, there's somebody
Hmm.
there who needs what you love.
Right,
There's like billions, or 4 billion people in the world, or 8
right,
billion.
right.
Sorry,
Hmm.
yeah.
I don't
So
know how many people. It's a
that's
lot.
bad. I don't know either. I think it's 8 billion. I'm not sure. That's bad. But yeah, somebody will need what you have. And
Right,
once
right.
you have a passion for it, and once you love what you do,
Hmm.
it's
Right,
gonna come.
right, right. Well, very good final words.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Harry, thank you so much for being on the show today, and we'll sign up. I'm Amy Mitchell with Houses of Windsor. You're watching Virtual Tea Time with Amy, and today my special guest was Dr. Fitzherbert Harry, aka Fitz.
Hmm.
And thanks so much for watching, everyone.
Yes, thank you guys. Thanks, Priscilla. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, everyone. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
thank you. Bye, Dr. Harry.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.